But while Kim is likely to seek more assistance from one of his country's two main backers, Russia will be limited in what it can provide, and the summit will focus more on demonstrating camaraderie than new investment or aid, analysts said. When Kim meets Putin, he is going to ask for economic assistance and unilateral sanctions relaxation. Moscow is unlikely to grant his wishes, said Artyom Lukin, a professor at Far Eastern Federal University in Vladivostok. That school's campus is seen to be the summit venue, according to South Korean media, which reported the presence of Kim's top aides there making preparations for the event. Being a veto-holding UN Security Council member, Moscow can hardly afford to undermine its authority even for the sake of friendship with Kim, Lukin said. Sanctions relief steps by the DPRK towards gradual disarmament should be followed by the easing of sanctions, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said at a Security Council meeting late last year, using the initials of the North's official name, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Washington has accused Russia of cheating on sanctions and said it has evidence of consistent and wide-ranging Russian violations. One Russian lawmaker told Interfax news agency last week that North Korea had asked Moscow to allow its laborers to continue to work in Russia despite sanctions requiring their expulsion by the end of this year. One particularly sore area for Kim is the issue of North Korean laborers working in Russia, said Anthony Rina, a specialist in Korea-Russia relations at Sino-NK, a website that analyzes the region. Kim will probably be seeking some wiggle room from Russia, although Moscow will be hard-pressed to accommodate Kim given its desire to portray a responsible image in the world. The United States has said it believed Pyongyang was earning more than $500 million a year from nearly 100,000 workers abroad, including 30,000 in Russia. According to unpublished reports by Moscow to the United Nations Security Council, Russia sent home nearly two-thirds of its North Korean workers during 2018. Russia-North Korea relations withered after the Soviet demise, with the loss of support from Moscow often cited as one factor that led to a 1990s famine that killed hundreds of thousands of North Koreans. Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, worked to renew ties after Putin first became president in 1999. He visited Russia 3 times before his sudden death in 2011. Russia could agreed on some limited projects like a vehicle bridge connecting the two countries across the Tumanan River, or provide more humanitarian aid, Lukin said. Earlier this year, Russia sent more than 2,000 tons of wheat to North Korea through the World Food Program. Russian lawmakers have suggested Moscow could send as much as 50,000 tons of wheat to North Korea. North Korea's state media said in March officials met in Moscow to sign an agreement to boost high-level contact and exchange in the political field, and actively promote cooperation in the fields of economy and humanitarianism. While Moscow is unlikely to risk its authority at the United Nations by overtly breaching sanctions, Putin could promise not to support any additional sanctions, Lukin said. Kim can expect a friendly reception here and probably some chance of getting political and economic support from Putin.